we had our guard down. That's what it was. But I mean, we pulled up to the light though. My head shit started going crazy. At first, I ain't really whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I tried to like shield my little brother. 20p. It was his birthday. So I tried to shield him and shit, make sure he was good. But I couldn't shield everybody though. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to shield him and get out at the same time. Feel what I'm saying? Cause we like trapped in. Put it like that. We were trapped in, but that shit was crazy though. I ain't gonna lie, that shit it still fuck with me though. But
call me, shit, where you at? They said you dead in Hilltop. Hell no. I go on Facebook. A little boy just got killed in Hilltop, like 16. So I'm like, well, they're like, yeah, he had on a uniform, or a gray sweater, burgundy shirt. I'm like, oh God, like I just hang up the phone. One of my God brothers walk in the house, like, bro, they said baby dead, bro. Fuck.
Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. Damn. He killed this and on me. What happened? Now we smoking 23. You always on my mind. Always on my mind. When I ride through the east side, I wanna see you. When I see you. When I. Ooh, I smoke, baby. Ooh, I smoke, Tiki. Ooh, I smoke, Lana. And now I wonder what I upset. Got a low, I told her drop that. FNXP went off. No. Niggas playing hard, but he really soft. Prosper got shot. Tate got shot. Desert got dropped. Damn. Nate got popped. Damn. Leaky got shot. What the hell? Spaz face hot. Okay. Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones. He was right. Where's Corbin? Meet you up the boss. They knocked his ass off. John at the fool till they walked his ass down. 5 in the ground. 5. Curtis felt him round. Corbin got kidnapped. Lost. Got his ass found. Okay.
Yeah, you could go down and say, okay, you know, Fulio, he didn't take no shit from nobody, whatever else, but you're not around to, you know, to feel that love because you're gone.
Oh, you trying? And it's crazy because I done dodged death so many times. Sometimes I just be like, it's just the way I live. I don't know. I just see death so much.
And around 4:40 this morning, we received a 911 call about a shooting that happened here in the parking lot behind me on McKinley and Fowler. What we have learned, and again, this is all very early in the investigation, is that 2 cars were shot at. 4 people were shot in total as a result of this. 3 of them were transported to hospitals, and 1 was pronounced deceased here on the scene. So we are working to learn what led up to the shooting.
Does your sunscreen go as hard as you do? New Neutrogena Sport. Non-greasy formula that resists sweat and blocks 97.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
You 12, I hear you. Loud and clear.
Oh yeah. Right. Oh. All right, you can hear yourself too, Rock, right?
One more time.
You can hear yourself on the string?
I didn't check to see mine, so I was actually just pulling up YouTube right now so I can hear myself. Yeah, I'm for what?
All right, my brothers. All right, let's get the most high hand.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Oh. Back again, another Tuesday Brotherhood class, Lakia. You know what I'm saying? Very, very heavy topic that we about to get into today. You know what I mean? Let's give my brother a rocket hand, you know what I'm saying? Las Vegas, SoCal, clicked up. About to rock it out, you know what I'm saying? So very heavy topic today that we about to get into. If you missed the beginning intro video, you know what I mean, we're going to get on this brother Julio Fulio. We're going to get on the scriptures in the Bible of us being cursed as a people I mean, the Lord making us drunk with wormwood. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into that. You know what I mean? We're gonna rock it out. Slocky. Did you want to get into some Rock? I'm about to change that background real quick because we got the wrong background.
So the particular, you got it. You go ahead, get into that topic.
Okay, cool.
You got a
All
solid
right,
ass
well,
topic, man.
I'm just changing the background real quick, Salaki. That is the wrong background. But okay, so let's see. Salaki. Just give me a second. Not letting me change it.
I'm gonna send that link to a trooper.
Okay, Con. Okay, so first starting off, you know what I'm saying? As I'm changing this background, there we go. Bam. I like that black background. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's fire. Okay, we too out. All right, so we gonna get into the destruction of our people. You know what I'm saying? As you should know, this brother Julio Fulio, he's a rapper who was just unalived. You know what I mean? A few days ago. A Florida rapper. You know what I mean? Mostly known for putting out songs about unaliving people and you know what I mean, dissing the ops who are no longer living. You know what I mean? Calling them out by name. I mean, honestly though, this is not just his thing though. This is just a new thing in general when it comes to our people. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the hatred that we have for our people that was developed from a certain state. You know what I'm saying? A certain mindset or a certain characteristic that was passed down to us from our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Our people have made it entertaining, made it cool for people who are no longer on this earth with us, who were probably taken away from us brutally by either their friends or by their hands in general. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get into how this mindset, this characteristic of dissing the deceased like that, you know what I mean? That hatred that we have for ourselves, this is passed down from our oppressors. This is not something that we just came out the woodworks with. We've taken on the hatred that our oppressors feel towards us, and we've pushed it towards ourselves. You know what I'm saying? This is why brothers are on getting famous and getting rich off of terrorizing people's feelings and people's mourning for the people who they loved, who they probably lost in a inhumane manner. You know what I'm saying? By violence, by banging, gang banging, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? This mindset, this characteristic, this has been traded from our oppressors. Our oppressors have given this to us, and no longer have they have to lift their hands up to do the dirty work anymore. They allow us to just sit back and show how much we truly hate each other. You know what I'm saying? And we've developed the mindset of our oppressors, and we've used it on each other. And now we're using it as a way to be lucrative. You know what I mean? To make money off of it. And we're disrespecting not just ourselves, our nations, but we're disrespecting the ones who have fallen and the ones who are even no longer with us anymore. You know what I mean? We're at a point where brothers are shooting at brothers' mothers and children, and you know what I mean? It's all in a barbaric manner. It's all towards a bitter mindset. You know what I'm saying? And this mindset is just, there are no laws, there are no restrictions. You know what I'm saying? This is just all cutthroat. This is just all. This is exactly what our oppressors want us to be. You know what I mean? In the time of slavery, you know what I mean, they would put us in a ring together and watch us fight to the death. You know what I'm saying? Like watch us literally kill each other for sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so like it, unalive each other for sport. But even that
Or you
movie,
can say so like you can say delete as well. I think delete's a little bit better than unalive. Kind.
Nah, delete only works so many times though. Like, you can't say delete all the time. But
I go ahead.
Nah, you talk. But yeah. So if you watch that movie Django, you see, and that there's this one part, and it's like you can miss it easy if you don't pay attention. But as the two slaves are fighting each other, you know what I mean? Leonardo DiCaprio does not intervene with the fight. He simply just throws a weapon in the middle of the ring. You know what I'm saying? And the man uses it, even though he doesn't want to kill his own brother, he uses it to kill his own brother. You know what I'm saying? But you can see in his face, his emotion, you know what I mean? The emotion in his face, he doesn't want to kill his own brother, but he's doing it because to appease the slave owner. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real heavy point because this is what they do with us today. They no longer have to intervene with killing us anymore or unaliving us, or deleting us. You know what I mean? But now they just have to just throw something, just either throw a package right in the middle of our neighborhoods and they just watch us destroy each other. You know what I mean?
Facts. You guys may add on to that. So because what you bring it out is so heavy, man. Like we've been teaching since 1969, right? That America is basically, this is the modern day Rome. This is Rome, rising up from its own ashes from the time that it had gotten burned down. You get what I'm saying? If y'all have actually been paying attention to everything that this wise brother has been saying this whole time, you understand? He just described the gladiator Colosseum games. Right. He just described, the military, their number one tactic, which was divide and conquer the people, to divide and conquer the people. And this is what's been going on here in America with not just the so-called Negro, but also with the Latinos and the Native Americans as well, where it's a divide where we literally we say Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans because we say that because we understand that people in the world think these are three separate people. In other words, they're all divided from the one that they actually are. You understand? And we have to speak like that so that y'all will understand. You understand that because we are divided. You get what I'm saying? And this is all devised from our oppressors. You understand? Right. This was all part of a grand, you can say an agenda that they put together to, so that they can always keep they boots on our necks. You understand? Because the moment we realize that we are one and that we are not those three separate, ethnicities, being a Negro, Latino, or Native American, that we are all brothers, man, the game is over. Literally. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because then at that point, not only will a black man look at another black man and say, you know what, I'm not going to kill him because that's my brother. But we're also going to have that same mindset when it comes to, our Latino brothers or our Native American brothers. You get what I mean? And if I may, you can have it right back. But I think the craziest thing is how we have that divisive, what would you say, ethnical term between the North America, between the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Latinos. When they, they're the first ones that inhabit this side of the earth, this side of the world, and hell, all of their customs are almost completely identical. It doesn't matter if it's from the Blackfoot tribe to the Navajo to the Cherokee to the Aztec Mayans to the Incas. It's all the same with just small alterations. You get what I'm saying? So I always thought that was one of the wildest divisions that were made, but it lets you know how important it was for the so-called for the oppressors, the so-called white man, to make that distinction between the two, so then that way we would, nobody would ever think to, hey, you know what, we might actually be brothers, because like I said, once we realize that we are brothers, it's a wrap. Hey, shalom, Lord of Christ. Troopers, good to see you in the class.
Hey, shalom, Lord of Christ, Trooper.
Shalom, Lord of Christ.
Good, man.
What's going on?
Mighty
Good to see you, my
man
brother.
right
Good to see you.
Huh?
Say good to see you, my brother.
Always.
But yeah, no, Salakia, not as you go ahead and take it back though from there.
I wanted to add on to your point, you know what I mean, because you were getting on like that division part, and it's like, you know what I mean, I was just seeing like a little debate that was going on that Hispanics were underrepresented at the Kendrick Lamar concert and things of that nature. Okay. And it's just more things to just cause division. Like, it's like, that's like the trending topic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Who cares what the representation was? Who was the I mean, the reason why people are putting in that type of aspect, because they feel as if that moment was so legendary that certain people should have been involved, certain people shouldn't have been involved. But it's like, our people, we just want anything to be represented by, and we'll take a concert and try to use that as a, you know what I mean, as a tool of, oh yeah, this is legendary. Like, it's just a concert, it's just music. You know what I mean? Now we can see the effects of what music can do, and we can see the effects of what music can't do. Right here, I'm gonna show this video again with the situation with this brother, and we can see the effects of what music can do. You know what I mean? Even though it goes a little bit more deeper than rap when it comes to these brothers' perspective, you know what I mean? But still, it's just like, it's so how can I say? It's so overdosed, or I'm just thinking of a word that got something to do with overdose. It's like put out there so bad is because it's so loved by our people. Our people, it's lucrative. The drama, the hostility, the crime, like that's all what our nation is representative of. You know what I mean? What is the most top TV shows? Power, Ghost, you know what I mean? Things of selling drugs and shooting our own people and things of that nature. You know what I mean? This is what is lucrative of our people. The top TV shows, the Housewives, and the Looking for Love TV shows and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things are based on drama, they're based on violence, they're based on destruction, and that's what our people are flocking to invest into. And it's programming. You know what I mean? It's all programming. And these situations are leading our people into a mindset that this is what we are. This is our culture, to be violent, to kill our own people, to hate, to unalive our own people, to hate our own people. You know what I mean? This is what music, this is what the entertainment system has programmed our people to do. So I'm just gonna go to that video. I'm gonna get into, you know what I'm saying, the real nitty-gritty of why we do these things. So let's get in this brother Julio real quick. Let me see. Watch it. Damn. It's a lot that go with this sharing the screen thing.
No, yeah, I ain't no thing.
We got it.
Well, why are you putting that? Oh, you got it now? You good?
I got it.
All right, okay, go ahead.
That's what it was. But me pull up to the light though. Come on, it just started going crazy. At first, I ain't
mute your mics for the video.
I ain't gonna lie, I tried to like shit my little brother, 23, it was his birthday. So I tried to shield him and make sure he was good, but I couldn't shield everybody though. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to shield him and get out at the same time. Feel what I'm saying? Cause we like trapped in. Put it like that. We trapped in, but that shit was crazy though. I ain't gonna lie, that shit it still fuck with me though, but
call me. Shit, where you at? They said you dead in Hilltop. Yeah, no. I go on Facebook. A little boy just got killed in Hilltop, like 16. So I'm like, a They're like, yeah, he had on a uniform, or a gray sweater, burgundy shirt. I'm like, oh God, like I just hang up the phone. One of my god brothers walk in the house, like, bro, they say baby dead, bro. Fuck.
Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. Damn. He kept dissing on me. What happened? Now we smoking 23. You always on my mind. Always on my mind. When I ride through the east side, I wanna see you. When I see you. When I. Who I smoke, baby, who I smoke, Tiki, who I smoke, Lil Nas, and now I wonder what I upset, got a low, I told her drop that, F in his speed went off. Niggas playing hard, but he really so sick. Prosper got shot, Tate got shot, Desert got dropped, damn, Nate got popped, damn, Leaky got shot, what the hell, fast face hot, okay. Corbin got kidnapped, they found his bones, he was right. Where's Corbin? Meet you up the boss, they knocked his ass off. Done at the food till they walked his ass down. 5 in the ground, 5. Curtis felt them round. Corbin got kidnapped, lost, got his ass found. Okay.
Yeah, you could go down and say, okay, you know, Fulio, he didn't take no shit from nobody, whatever else, but you're not around to, you know, to feel that love because you're gone.
Oh, you trying? And it's crazy because I done dodged death so many times. Sometimes I just be like, this is just the way I live. I don't know, like, I don't know. I just see death so much.
Around 4:40 this morning, we received a 911 call about a shooting that happened here in the parking lot behind me on McKinley and Fowler. What we have learned, and again, this is all very early in the investigation, is that 2 cars were shot at. 4 people were shot in total as a result of this. 3 of them were transported to hospitals, and 1 was pronounced deceased here on the scene. So we are working to learn what led up to the shooting.
I think y'all brothers on mute.
Yeah.
All right, so Kanye, I can hear you. All right, so just wanted to dissect that video. You know what I'm saying? Like, just wanted to get into that. Like, okay, so this is brother that's named Julio Fulio. You know what I mean? He's the one who passed, the one with the dreads. You know what I'm saying? He's in a war with that one brother. I think his name is like Ungene Ace or something like that, like something Ace. But these two have both been at it, and it went from diss tracks on songs to actual killings going on, unalivings going on in these brothers' neighborhoods and in these brothers' close circles. You know what I'm saying? So both of these brothers have lost. Both of you brothers on mute again, but I'm just letting y'all know. But so both of these brothers have lost somebody in close to them or in their hood or something like that. You know what I'm saying? In their group. So I know both of them had lost a brother due to gun violence, and they use those brothers' emotions towards their lost loved ones as a way to taunt them on record, on music. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you get the songs and stuff like that. But before those songs happen, you see the brothers in mourning talking about, what happened to their loved ones during the time period where they lost them. You know what I'm saying? So you can see brothers in a traumatizing state, in a state of sadness, in a state of mourning, and then you see that those traumas are being used against each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's like whoever had the worst diss out of the worst, out of the situation of whatever happened to whoever was closest to them. You know what I'm saying? So they're picking at each other in the mannerism where they want you to do something to him. You know what I mean? And now this is just a new wave in general when it comes to beefing on music. You know what I'm saying? Brothers are talking about dead unalive brothers who probably died through gun violence or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they're using that to taunt the other brother. You know what I'm saying? And to disrespect them. You know what I mean? So that wave, that's just the new thing now. Now these brothers, they've been going at it for a cool minute now, and finally one of them lost their life due to the tragic incident of, you know what I mean, beefing in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So what do you got with that? Like you see the brother like is like literally saying, you know what I mean, in the interview when he's talking to the one he's talking to Amalek, he's telling him like, you know what I mean, this is just my lifestyle. You know what I mean? I've just been around death and seen so much death. Like that's just my life. You know what I mean? That's trauma. That's like PTSD. That's like, you know what I mean? That's a state of mind where he just feels as if technically it's pretty much already just over for him. Like regardless if he is living, he's not really living. You know what I'm saying? That's his mindset that he's in. And that mindset is being used to push more violence, more beef on the streets. You know what I mean? And then not just that, it's being used as being lucrative. They're literally selling our trauma out here. You know what I'm saying? They're selling our hatred towards each other out here and making it lucrative. This is what our oppressor has been doing. You know what I mean? This is a tactic for him. He's making all the things that can destroy us as a people. He's making it lucrative, and he's making it so that, you know what I mean, your success comes through your destruction. You know what I'm saying? Did you have something to
Yeah, actually, I did want to add on to that because, like, what's heavy about that, man, is like in that video. What did you say the brother's name with the dreadlock that that had his life taken away? What was his name?
Julio.
Okay, yeah. At one point, he was saying in the interview, which was also heavy because he said he was talking to Amalek. You know what I'm saying? And the brother right here, Quadash Ya'ala, was saying that the system they created for us to go against each other, and they sit back and watch and basically just have these interviews, like to the point of the video. You know what I'm saying? But the brother, you said it was Julio, correct?
Julio Fulio.
Oh, Julio Fulio. Okay, yeah, it's like you. Yeah. Julio Fulio, he has said, man, to your point about PTSD, where the brother was just like, man, I've always just grown up around death. Like, this is not like it is, it is what it is. Was that, for one, if that's actually the truth, like, man, that's a terrible way to live in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And which is crazy because, they try to big up America into this great grand country with all these opportunities and this, that, and the other. But yet, the real Jews, you understand, God's chosen people is thrown into, the ghettos. They're thrown into, these circumstances where that is what we see. And then they basically just record it for their entertainment and also a way to doggone demonize us. You understand? Right. Like, exactly what I was saying earlier, man, about, how this is all about the Colosseum, or, this is all, the same, nothing new being under the sun, Salakia, with the fact that the Romans used to put, throw us into the gladiator games and just watch us fight each other and whatnot. Y'all can go on to worldstar.com. You ain't got to go to the deep dark web to find these videos, to see people, to see our own, having shootouts and whatnot. These websites are put together by our oppressors. You understand? Right. So that they can, from the comfort of their home, see these types of atrocities happening where they're still safe and they don't have to, they don't have to go through that themselves. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing as what the Romans were doing in that Colosseum. That's why we will continue to say that this is Rome all over again that rose up from the ashes. You understand?
Right.
Rome never was fully destroyed. You understand? Rome will not be fully destroyed until after, like what I said before, those three divided so-called ethnicities, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Once we stop being divided and realize that we're actually one, man, this is going to continue to go on. Salakia. You get what I'm saying? Where they and mind you, it's all for their benefits. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, so there was a time where Julio Fulio, he might have gotten a couple dollars or whatever, but it's only a couple dollars in comparison to what Amalek is getting. You understand? Benefiting off of his music, off of that music. You understand? When all he's doing is the he gets a couple dollars, but what he's really doing in the bigger picture is teaching our youth that this lifestyle is cool. This is the lifestyle that we need to grow up living in. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not going to name the brother, but there was a brother that was out here for a time where he was basically on that same thing, where like it was showing a direct consequence of the youth watching our the rappers and whatnot talk about how cool it is to kill someone and to run around with guns and have having to constantly look over your shoulder because you got ops and whoop. Like this brother was on that, but come to find out it wasn't even real. It was just fabricated stories that the brother was saying. You get what I'm saying? And mind you, with us being in today's society of social media, it's causing the children to do one of these two things that want to follow, that look up to that lifestyle. One, they actually do it. They walk that talk. You understand? Where they actually going out of their way to to cause beef with somebody so that they can get a body on their belt. You know what I'm saying? Or two, you get somebody like this brother, and like I said, I'm not gonna name him because Lord allowed, brother cleans up and comes back into the school, comes into the school, but they sit there and fabricate these lies to make it sound like they got all these ops and to make it sound like they are living that life, but they're really not. They want to portray that life because they think it's cool and they think that they should be a part of it, but man, they're not even cut out for it in the first doggone place. You know what I'm saying? And that's also part of that whole social media, the issue with social media in the first doggone place. You understand? Because now that gives that, somebody that is like that, not saying that this brother did it, but it gives, somebody like that to get, to have a platform and just talk about all these things, how they got ops and whoop, got to look over their shoulder, but yet, like, bro, you ain't live that life. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then that becomes a trickling effect for everybody around him and also with the youth underneath that brother. You understand? And it's poisoning our communities. You understand? It's poisoning our people. You understand? And quite frankly, I'm gonna leave it at this. I'll pass it back to you. Salaki for being long-winded. But it's basically it's unwinding all of the work that Yahweh Shai alongside with the Christian church in the first place. Because let's be real, the Christian church and gangs, man, they pretty much in cahoots with each other in the first place. But it's unwinding and unraveling all of the work that Yahweh Shai actually put in for us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to for us to actually learn from. It's taking all of that away. You understand? Because it's anti-brotherhood. And quite frankly, anti-brotherhood is anti-Christ. Salakia.
Oh, that's a fact. That is a fact. Freaking I want to get back down what you was talking about as well. Could you Trooper, can you give me Lamentations chapter 2? Chapter 2 and verse 21.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse number 21. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed, and not pity.
So he's saying the young and the old are laying dead in the streets. I keep saying that. Like unalived in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Young child to old man, virgin to young man, young lady to young man. You know what I mean? That's what virgin is a young marriageable age lady. You know what I'm saying? So this is a situation. We are dying in these streets without pity. Nobody's feeling sorry for us. No one's feeling bad that we're being slain out here in these streets. Slain is a good word too. You know what I'm saying? But
you don't think we'll get in trouble for slain though?
Nah, I don't think slain is nah.
I think slain or destroyed are good alternatives.
So,
but no, so like, I mean, go ahead.
No, you good. But you know what I mean? Ages young and old were being slain out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's feeling pity from us. You know what I'm saying? You got your young man to the Julio Fulios, to the George Floyds, you know what I mean? All age groups, all aspects. You know what I mean? Men to women, we're being slain, we're being unalived, we're being taken out in these streets, and nobody's feeling pity for us. They think that it's just because the way that we broadcast it, the way that we entertain the masses, they think that it's part of our everyday lifestyle is to be slain. You know what I mean? To be unalived, to be violent. They think that this is just part of our nature. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's pitying us that, you know what I mean, these things are happening to us. Nobody feels pity for us. And this is just all about being cursed in general, being under the foot of our oppressor. Because you have to think about it. Where did this hatred come from? Where does it come from? Here, I got a clip real quick. Let me share this with you. Now peep this out.
You on video? Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
So, like, I think the sound went out for the video.
He just shot Zella! Oh my God! Well, he just shot my nigga. He just shot my nigga. I don't give a fuck. He just shot my nigga. He shot him. He shot me. It's all on video. It's all on video. It's already done. It's already on video. It's already on video. Y'all shot my nigga. Fuck that. Y'all shot my nigga. Fuck y'all, nigga. Y'all shot my nigga. Fuck that shit. You played out. I'm in back. Fuck you talking about bitch.
All right, so like, can you hear me?
Go.
All right, so like, we had some. I'm still getting used to the sharing game. I accidentally took the video off for a second, but I mean, but what we witness is, you know what I mean, another oppressor, you know what I mean, who has a badge, unaliving another one of our people so easily, without no regards, without no hesitation, just could sit back and pull the trigger so easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't come from trying to be on your P's and Q's and following protocol. Because if that man that was in that vehicle was of his nation, he wouldn't be so quick to fire on him. The reason why he was so quick to fire on that man in that vehicle is because it's the usual mindset that this person is of, well, what they see as African American descent, you know what I mean, so-called, you know what I mean, and he just took it as, I mean, if I pull this trigger, there's not going to be any consequences to this. You know what I mean? If I'm in the wrong for it, maybe I'll just probably get, I mean, a little pay time, leave, a little vacation. I mean, they'll sort the things out, let the things cool down, and I'll be back to work. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna miss out, and nobody's gonna lose any money. Nobody's gonna, you know what I mean? I could just, I'm gonna handle this situation in the most convenient way that I know how to handle it. And what is his way of handling it? It's to be so quick to pull the trigger and unalive our people. You know what I'm saying? You got something to rock?
Yeah, Con, if I may, man. Like, what's so heavy about this is, like, for people who don't know, in the military, towards, I mean, hell, after the first couple of years of the war in the Middle East, they had a change of ROE, which is, rules of engagement, right? So basically, they had, for those that were in Afghan, anywhere in the war zones in the Middle East, the rules of engagement was you literally were not allowed to fire at nobody unless you were fired upon first. It didn't matter if you saw even a child, a grown man, or a woman, clear as day, had an AK-47, whatever. Didn't matter what kind of weapon system that they had. Clear as day, you can see it. You were not allowed to fire upon them unless they fired upon you first. And of course, there was a lot of controversy with that, right? But why is that? Why am I bringing that out in the first place? Well, because of the fact that the U.S. military was able to have, they were able to train, people who knew that when you go out on patrol, I'm going out to patrol, knowing that regardless, these people that are out here that have these guns want to kill me. And I know because I have this uniform on, I need to be prepared to kill them. That is the job. You understand? That is the job. All right. But here in America, these people who have these doggone police badges, you understand? They're here to, what does it say on the police car? It says, call 911 to serve and protect. To serve and protect. Who are you serving and who are you protecting when the very first thing that you do is open fire on a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American man or woman?
Right.
How is that serving and protecting? Then it has to make you think, okay, you know what? Maybe they are doing their job. Let's be a bit rational here. Maybe they really are doing their job. So who are they serving and who are they protecting? You understand? This just, and mind you, you can never forget the fact that all of this land here in America, none of this land is our oppressors in the first place. All of it has been taken by force, deceit, and disease. You understand what I'm saying? It's force, deceit, and disease. All right. This land wasn't, there was no such treaty, or agreement of, hey, you know what, we can live here in peace, and basically like something similar to what they're trying to do, or what they tried to do in Israel in what was that, 1948, if I remember correctly. It was right before the 50s, but after the World War II had ended. It was 48
or 46,
something like that, right? But the point, and they just got slapped in there by, by the British government. The U.S. helped with that. But what did they do though? With the surrounding countries, they put treaties together. Hey, we're going to give these fake Jews some land so that they can have their own, they can have their own home. You know what I'm saying? It's stolen, but hey, our land is stolen as well. That's the mindset they own, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't done here in America. And that's my point. You understand? So who are they serving and protecting? Now, you don't ever see a black man in uniform, or you don't ever see a black or brown man in uniform who just gets trigger happy and shoots and kills, or just simply shoots a doggone oppressor. Why don't we ever have any cases like that?
Right.
As much as people like to bring up the statistics about the fact that per capita, you understand, the percentages look bad towards the white man, because they get shot more, what have you. But yet, when you're looking at who is actually in that uniform, why don't we just simply look at those statistics? when it's a black or brown man or woman in a uniform, how come you don't ever hear them making mistakes when they're dealing with these doggone oppressors?
Right.
But you see these mistakes all the time when it's an oppressor in that uniform dealing with black or brown men or women. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like that is something that we all need to really pay attention to and look at, because just like what the officer is bringing out, we look up to these people. And while we're looking up to them, we're looking up to the people who are supposed to be serving us as civilians, who are supposed to be protecting us as civilians. But yet we're looking up to them and we're watching them kill our brothers and sisters, our mothers and our daughters, our fathers, our sons, our grandmothers and our grandfathers. You understand? Because quite frankly, as we've seen throughout history, as we've seen throughout the news, from what is actually reported, because we know there's plenty of other cases where it's not reported. You understand? We see they kill us from mistakes, quote unquote mistakes. They put them on paid leave for the time of the trial, and then when they are found guilty, they would get a slap on the wrist where they might get probation, what have you. But then they get full recommendations when they go down to the zip code down the street or the county down up the street to still get the same goddamn job, where they just got to do some paperwork for X amount of years. But you know what doesn't get taken away? That goddamn pension, that pension time that they still work for. So what are they really losing out on? They get a stupid slap on the wrist. You give it Salaki. You got it. Salaki.
Nah, cook it up, my brother. Cook it up. You had a precept you want to share, True?
Come, I don't want.
Go ahead, read that.
It's the book of Lamentations. I'm gonna start at verse 17. It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Like the direct definition of what we see going on right here in this situation. You know what I'm saying? We're being hunted. You know what I mean? And not only are we being hunted, they're using us as what do you call them? The taskmasters. You know what I mean? The ones that go out and go find the slaves after they try to run away. You know what I mean? Like they're using that. Is that what is that what it is? A taskmaster?
I know there's I know it's overseers is
overseer.
Is the overseer, he does that too?
Overseer.
Oh, okay.
So they're putting us in that position in order to, like, they really don't have to do anything. They just have to watch us be destructive. But we see how easy it was for that heathen to pull that trigger, and that's how. And they push that mindset into our brains and pushed us to have that emotion towards each other, that it's so easy for us to pull the trigger on ourselves. It's so easy for us to unalive ourselves, to terminate ourselves. You know what I mean? That mindset of our oppressors is pushed in on us. That we sick type of mindset, you know what I mean? Where you thinking like your daddy, you acting like your daddy, you thinking like your daddy, that's pushed up on us. You know what I mean? So when we see our own brothers and sisters, we want to commit some type of violence or, you know what I mean, hurt to or harm to our people. But when we see them, it's fear. You know what I mean? It's fear and it's order. You know what I mean? And we got our minds and we got our actions right when we're around them, but when we're around each other, we're animalistic and we're barbaric and we're violent. You know what I'm saying? This brother, you know what I mean? These brothers, they're talking about people who are not alive anymore. They're talking about people who are no longer on this earth anymore due to the mindset that we developed from our oppressors to hurt one another. You know what I'm saying? Then they put it on they put it on music videos and put it on songs to sound cool, to sound like a trend, like something that is fun. But the same people who are putting this message out are the same ones being unalived. You know what I mean? They're no longer with us, and now they're on someone else's song being talked about. And the trend keeps on going, and the cycle keeps going. What happened to King Von? You know what I'm saying? King Von used to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Who else? What other brothers was doing that? I mean, you dig down into like the whole underground stage. You could pull out tons of them. EBK, J Boy, all of them. They disrespect the unalived, and that's the new trend. The talk about the ops who have fallen. You know what I mean? And all it is just creating a new cycle. The ones who are disrespecting are the next ones that end up on somebody else's song, and that person ends up on somebody else's song, and that person ends up on, and they're all just being unalived. Right. It's just a cycle of just like the brother was saying himself in the interview. Like, you know what I mean? I could be unalived at any moment. It could happen at any moment. You know what I mean? They're not talking about peace. They're not talking about coming together as a brotherhood and trying to mend those wounds that have been hurt. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about that. They're talking about getting payback, getting revenge, being vengeful. You know what I'm saying? Going out and you disrespected this person who's been unalived, so I'm about to go out here and I'm gonna disrespect your people that's been unalived. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk, and then not just that. After I unalive them, I'm gonna talk mess about it. Let me get James chapter 4 real quick. True.
Hey, so like just real quick while he pulling that for if I say this incorrectly, Salakia, Mathamyad Banyashakar, he asked a question, Salaki, if I may, are the missiles only for the U.S. or the whole America from Canada to Brazil? Which missiles in particular are you referring to? Are you talking about, the nuclear war missiles, where in the Bible it talks about, the arrows will be pointed everywhere? Or what are you? Be a little bit more specific, Babu Kashad.
James 4 from the top.
James 4 and 11 through 12.
Come. It's the book of James, chapter 4, and verse number 11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. Verse 12.
Verse 11 is fine. It's just verse 11. But it's like the water. So on that, you know what I mean? It's talking about speaking evil of our brothers. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting our brothers. Having ill intent of the things that we say about each other. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And if we were following the law, we wouldn't have anything bad to say about our brother. We would go to that brother and him alone. You know what I mean? And do as the law says. But speaking illy, especially on wax, especially on songs, especially in music videos, you know what I mean? Especially for a brother that is fallen, you know what I mean? You technically just cursing yourself. You know what I mean? You're allowing that energy of hatred to flow in your direction. Because just like we seen when I played that video, the two brothers was having a moment where they were reflecting on the ones that they lost. And you could see the pain in their eyes and the hurt that they still felt. You know what I mean? So when you got that pain and you have that hurt and you have somebody picking at that by disrespecting the thing that you are in pain about and using that as an aspect to try to hurt you, you know what I mean? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to do what was done to the people that they lost. They're going to try to get somebody to get you lost too. You know what I mean? And then now we just have a whole bunch of lost people, the lost tribes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a cycle that our people are just continuing, and we think that this is not this brother's unaliving is not going to stop this thing from happening. Actually, The one brother that he's in beef with came out with a video right on the day of his death to disrespect him. You know what I mean? So this is not going to stop the trend. The trend is going to continue to keep going. You know what I mean? But we're not going to see it as that. We're going to see it as it's just something that is just consistent. Like we're literally committing. Can we say suicide on there? We're not on TikTok. We're committing suicide and genocide. You know what I'm saying? Suicide and genocide. I mean, when you are sitting over there making music about your ops, fallen ones, you're committing suicide because that person is not going to forget. Look at what happened in King Von. You know what I'm saying? Look. I mean, you see Lil Durk, he's still running around, but at the end of the day, you think that his ops forgot? You know what I mean? You think that he's just going to always just be safe? Soon enough, that pain that those people feel for the people that they're disrespecting on music is not ever going to go away. They're always going to feel that pain. And how they're going to feel about it is they're always going to have a grudge for the people who disrespected them. So you're not ever going to be safe. And it's like, it's a dumb trend, but it's something that you see it and it's popular in Chicago, it's popular in LA, it's popular in Florida. It's just a new thing now to disrespect your ops followers. And then the cycle of pain and suffering just continues to keep going. Oh, you took this person, you hurt me, so now I'm about to hurt you. Now I'm about to take this person from you. Now I'm gonna disrespect that person. And now I hurt you. Now you took another one of my people, or you took me. And it's just a back and forth cycle. It's all in destruction, and our oppressors are watching with big old cheesy smiles on their faces. Like, look at how clueless these people are. Look at what we made them to be. You know what I'm saying? Now we're taking their trauma, we're taking their pain, and we're going to use it against them. And we're going to advertise it. Now, when you speak about the fallen ones from your ops hood, now we're going to make it lucrative for you. It's complete suicide. Even the brother said, I got a video clip, so like it. Even the brother himself said that it was suicide.
Right. Right.
Let me see. Listen to this on this song, and the brother's going to be talking about how, you know what I mean, what he's doing is suicide.
Trying to run from all my thoughts, scared to face my lies. I keep losing all my brothers, this shit suicide. Trying to.
The brother's saying himself that this is suicide.
Securely store your password.
Like it.
So you can sign in with
The brother's saying himself that it's suicide. You know what I'm saying? He's saying it himself. He's saying that this lifestyle is going. It's just it's a route into. It's a route into being unalive. That's it. He made a statement that it's either his life is only going to lead either to unaliving or jail. That's it. There is no purpose. There is no glory point. It's only unaliving, destruction, or prison. That's it. You got something, Rob?
Yeah, Con, if I may, man, because what you just said was so heavy. Like, what's wild about that is, you know, that type of thinking isn't only just, you know, portrayed on, you know, like I don't even know what you would call it, like beef gang rap. I don't know what you would, you know, necessarily label that, but you know, because you also got music like, you know, with Drake and all them where they talk about, you know, YOLO, you only live once, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, with everybody going around just talking about, you know, hey, you know, this is my only time to, you know, actually have an opportunity. Let me just go ahead and just, you know, just do me. You get what I'm saying? So of course, you know, with him on that mindset and, you know, portraying that, putting that in his music is, let me get as, you know, make as much money as I possibly can. And then, you know, and then of course, let me spend it just as quick as I get it. You feel me? Because I know that I'm not going to be here that long. That entire way of thinking is all fabricated by our oppressors. And it's so important for us to understand that. You understand? Because and like this is and what's heavy about that, if I may, you know, is this is why the Most High had told us that we need to separate from the other nations, because we understand from what the Most High God had explained to us. You know, it's always been part of our culture. You understand? To understand that this is not our own life, our only life, Salakia, that we will return back again unto earth. I mean, you see it in the book of Genesis. I believe it's in what is that, chapter 35 or was it 38, where the brother Jacob, where he had, wait, was it Jacob? Where there was a brother who died because he was being wicked, and then his father Jacob told him, I think his name was Ozai or Ori. I might be a little bit off with the names, but you know, the story is there. It's Lockheed. But the point is, you know, the father said, hey, take his wife, since they didn't bear children together, take his wife and put, you know, so that you can raise up, you know, him again through, you know, you can bring up a seed through her, you know, for your brother, your fallen brother, and you'll name him your brother's name, so that way you continue, you know, having that seed through your for your brother, even though that he didn't have, you know, children from his own loins. You understand what I'm saying? And then of course the story goes on where, you know, he decided that he was gonna, I mean, quite frankly, he pulled out. He spilled his seed on the floor instead, because he decided, you know, he knew that the child wasn't going to be his. You understand?
All right. Genesis 34. I'm sorry. Genesis 38. Onan, Judah's son.
Judah. Oh, hey, the water.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay, the water for that. The water. So, but the point is though, since Genesis, which Trooper, tell me what the word. What does the book of Genesis mean?
The beginning.
Since the beginning, we have known that we can be raised back up from the dead. You understand? And that is done through our own seed. And quite frankly, there's a way to do it, you know, through your brother's seed as well. You understand what I'm saying? And that was with Judah. It was Judah's sons. What was it? Do you remember their names? I can't remember. I know one of them started with like a O. The one who spilt his seed on the floor, who quote unquote pulled out.
Onan?
Onai or Onan, something like that. Well, all right. Well, the point is, this is the point. The Most High, this is the way that the Most High told us. You understand? That we need to live. We need to have this in our mindset. You understand? And of course, when we know that if we're going through our lives just breaking the law and just acting a doggone fool, and you may not pay for it today, but you know, hey, you might pay for it tomorrow. And what I mean by today is, you may not pay for it in this life, but we understand through our culture from the laws that the Lord had told us, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you may not pay for it in this life, but you will pay for it in the next life. And that's also why it's such a big deal to understand, and you know, the fact that the so-called white man, our oppressor, hasn't gotten his punishment for what he's done to us from slavery and what he continues to do to us. You understand? There's going to be a time for it. You understand? That's part of us. You know, when we gain that understanding, when we gain that knowledge, you understand, that wisdom, it makes it, and both of y'all, I want y'all to answer this for me. Doesn't it make it a little bit that much more easier for y'all to just kind of sit back and be a little bit more patient, be like, you know what? You might got me today, you goddamn devil, but you know what? Tomorrow is your ass, because the Lord gonna have your ass. Don't it make it a whole lot easier to sit back and just do that?
Come on.
Because I mean, the history of them oppressing us and just treating us just wickedly, it has yet to end. we are still in that what is going to be jotted down on how wicked these devils were or these devils are to us. It's still in the process of being written down. That book of history, that chapter of history is not closed yet. You understand? But there will be a time where we teach our sons and daughters about us today, whom of which are, will be our grandparents. You understand? I know I'm kind of getting a little bit into, regeneration a little bit, and we could talk about that, into depth another class. But the whole point to wrap it all together is there's going to be a time where it is common knowledge, where it is not you only live once. You understand? Right. Where it is not common knowledge to what we find common knowledge today is the ways of the world. You understand? We won't be on that no more. You understand? But it is important for us to gain that understanding today. In other words, to wrap it up, Salakia, there I am again, being long-winded, but to wrap it up, you understand? We got to separate from these other nations, because nowhere in this Bible does it say that, you understand, you get one life to prove yourself and that's it. You understand? Nowhere does it say that once you die, you go to a place called heaven or you go to a place called hell. You understand? Off of one life. Nowhere does it say that. But where it does say throughout the text, you understand that your payment will be paid here on earth in this life or the next. You understand? My bad, your fault that you don't understand, but hey, you're doing a great thing by being in these classes so that you can gain that understanding. Salakia, I know I'm long-winded, y'all.
All right, that's good, man.
Both times,
which is a pure fact too, because I mean that protection from the judgment happens when you change. You know what I mean? You have to be able to unalive yourself daily, so you don't step out into these streets and someone unalives you physically. You know what I'm saying? You have to unalive your flesh before somebody does it for you. And I'm not talking about you going out and hanging yourself or things or popping yourself in the head or anything of that nature. I'm talking about challenging those spirits daily. You know what I'm saying? Changing, knowing what's right and what's wrong, and going out into this world challenging those spirits. You know what I'm saying? That's killing yourself. That is unaliving yourself. That is what the Lord means by unaliving yourself spiritually. You know what I'm saying? The things that you want to do, you don't do. But the things that you don't do, you want to do, but you still don't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's spiritual unaliving yourself. You know what I mean? Don't do the things that you want to do. Do the things that the Lord commanded us to do. You know what I mean? Easy as that. And that's going to be a daily task. It's daily unaliving yourself. But I guarantee you, when you get into this body right here in Isupk and you figure out how to battle those spirits, how to unalive those spirits, you know what I mean? How to unalive those urges, that physical drive that you want to do so bad. Once you learn how to unalive those things, you know what I mean? The Lord is going to protect you from the world unaliving. The Lord is going to protect you from you being in harm's way or being in a position where you can be like this brother Julio and being caught lacking by your ops or anything like that of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But you got that precept for me?
Which precept?
Lamentations chapter 3 and 15. Sorry, I thought I told you to get that.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 3 and verse number 15. He had filled me with bitterness. He had made me drunken with wormwood.
So, filling me with bitterness and making me drunken with wormwood. We're talking about the state of our living situations. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we're living, the way that the hell that we endure every day, it consumes us with bitterness. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you know wormwood, it's a bitter type of herb. You know what I'm saying? And as a rock put it out earlier to me, is that, you know what I mean, with too much consumption, it's poisonous, right?
Con.
Right. So, you know what I mean? This is the Lord speaking in metaphor. You know what I mean? But keep going on 16.
Verse number 16. He had also broken my teeth with gravel stones.
Mm-hmm.
He had covered me with ashes.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Verse 17. And thou hast removed my soul far off from peace.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord.
Verse 19 real quick too.
Verse 19. Remembering my affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall.
So let's get on this Wormwood situation. You know what I'm saying? That the metaphor of a bitter lifestyle, of a poisonous lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the lifestyle that we see today. This lifestyle under these curses is going to make our people bitter. It's going to make our people poison. You know what I mean? We get poisoned every day living in this society. I mean, we get poisoned with false doctrines. We get poisoned with false idols. We get poisoned with false narratives. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that are poisoning our people today, and it's creating us to be barbaric and being monsters. You know what I mean? Which is what's creating our how can I say, our animalistic way of living. And that's why we're being so consumed with this wormwood or this bitterness. You know what I mean? Don't, like, Christians take these verses so serious that they think that they're actually speaking about, you know what I mean, wormwood, or speaking about, you know what I mean? Right, just actual being drunk or something like that. But it's just being consumed within this type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why you need the proper education of what the Bible is, because right now Christians think that there's a comet coming that is named Wormwood. It's coming to destroy the earth, and they said it's written in Revelations. So they're talking about Revelation chapter 8. You know what I mean? But that's has absolutely nothing to do. This is why the Bible speaks in code for or how can I say, illiterate mindsets like that. You know what I mean? The Lord has to speak in code, because people will take the truth of this Bible and mix it into garbage. So it's good that certain things are being spoken in parables, certain things are being spoken into metaphors, because the illiterate stock are going to speak in literal. They're not going to speak in parable. They're not going to speak in, you know what I mean, metaphorical. They're going to speak in straight literal. So their beliefs go with them and their thoughts of literal. But the Lord knows how to code. Like, it's like rap. It's just like rap. When you hear certain words being put together, it all can lead up to either a story or a situation or certain things like that. But it's just the way that we speak. This is how you know that the Bible is from a black culture. You know what I'm saying? A black and Hispanic culture. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that we speak to each other, when we call each other rats or
snakes,
or snakes and crabs and rocky, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. When we speak like that, it's code speaking, but we understand it so fluently as if it's regular words. You know what I mean? But our oppressors, they don't speak like that. They don't know that type of lingo. They don't know how to generate that type of way of speech. You know what I mean? So this is what this is talking about. This is talking about us being, because lamentations means to cry. This is talking about a sad state of our life, a sad state of our living situation. You know what I'm saying? So this is that time period. We are consumed with, we are being drunk with wormwood, with bitterness and with poison. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what's going on in our lives. And we have to take in what is really happening to us. Take brothers like Julio Fulio's unaliving and take it in as a lesson that maybe I just don't want to be unalived right now. Maybe I want to live to be able to hold my grandkids. Maybe I want to live to be able to see my family grow. Maybe I want to live long enough to be able to retire, or you know what I mean, be able to just kind of.
Salaki, not to cut you off, but if I may, in that interview, the interviewer had asked them that question though too. You know, like posed that, you know, to him that, you know, don't you want to live to, you know, to not only just have children, but to raise up your children? You know what I'm saying? And I believe, if I remember correctly, you know, that was also around the same time where he was talking about like, you know, death is just part of, you know, a part of his life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Salaki.
Oh, that's exactly. And I seen like the pale look in his face where it was just like,
right.
You know what I mean? That's a brother who has been traumatically hurt so bad to the point where it's just like nothing really matters anymore. It's just always the expectancy of the negative things in life. I've been there before. I mean, brothers in here been there before, of course. I mean, why do you think we're at where we're at right now? We've had that same blank stare as well, where it's just, you know what I mean, just being Black Hispanic in this nation in general gives you that blank stare where things just really don't really matter. The things that I visualize as prosperity in that scripture says, I don't know prosperity anymore. And that's what you've seen in that brother's eyes. He didn't know prosperity. When he asked him about having a family and children, you know what I mean? He's just like, what is that? You talking about being happy? Oh, what's that? You know what I mean? Like in that brother's face, you can see he didn't know what prosperity was. He's just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's the lifestyle, and that's just how I live. You know what I mean? We gotta step it up as a nation and know that, you know what I mean, there is prosperity waiting for us. But all its requirement is for us to change the way that we think, change the way that we move on a daily basis, change the way how we see each other. You got to stop seeing each other as cattle and seeing each other as just something to slaughter just because. You know what I mean? We got to start seeing each other as somebody that was probably one day in another lifetime our closest friend or our closest sibling. You know what I'm saying? That's how we need to start seeing it. You know what I mean? When you see your brother or your sister walking up the street, you got to look at them as just that. This is probably my brother. This was probably my sister. This is not a hole that I want to, you know what I mean, just hit and toss to the side real quick. This was probably my close sister in a lifetime. This was probably my close brother at a lifetime. This is how we need to start seeing each other. Only way we're gonna be able to see that is we gotta gain knowledge of this truth. You know what I'm saying? But did you got something, Rock? Because that's all I got now.
Man, actually, because I forgot about this from earlier from what you had said. If you could, True, can you pull up Deuteronomy chapter 21, and then I want you to read 21 or Salakia, chapter 21 and verses 22 and 23. Right, while he pulls that for us, right? You know what I forgot to reference. I want to back reference it real quick. Just the fact that, you know, the brother was talking about how, you know, they were basically, you know, this beef that they were having, it was a back and forth beef where they were disrespecting each other's dead. You get what I'm saying? And like, we know that this behavior comes from our oppressors historically and even presently so. All right. Mm-hmm. Historically, like I'm talking about historically, like all the way back with the, you know, with the Greeks and the Romans. Because with the Romans, like, and this is what messes me up the most about the Christian cross, right? For one, of course, Yahweh Shah, our King, you understand, he died on the cross. All right. But nobody actually knows what the cross represents. The Romans used to use the cross before and after the time of Yahushua. The cross for the Romans, that is a symbolism of what they had conquered. All right. So there was times where they would set up crosses around, a nation city or whatever, just to kind of taunt them and be like, you know what, we've already conquered you. And then of course, with the reason why they put Christ on the cross was it was their way of saying, we conquered your Messiah. We conquered your king. So why are you going to follow him? That's what that's about. So when you walk into these churches and, with the, let's stop calling it Christian cross. With the cross of concrement, you understand? You're walking into a house admitting that I come in here because I've been conquered by the Romans. And let's be real, you're following the Roman customs. That's why your pastor is a homosexual. That's why your wife is sleeping with, the homosexual pastor and choir boy. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of Roman orgy nonsense that's going in there. That's going on in these Christian churches. You get what I'm saying? But with the crosses, even after somebody had died, they would leave them hanging on, basically it's a tree. You understand? Because it's a wooden cross. What is wood? It's a tree, right? And of course, and you can fast forward that to today, where hell, we can go 500 years from today, and the way that they would hang us on trees and just leave us there for weeks on end. You understand? Or even today, how y'all remember them brothers that allegedly climbed up them trees and hung themselves behind the Walmart. There was one out here in Vegas. I don't know if you heard about that, True. Or you did? So you know what I'm talking about. And then I believe there was another story. It made national news. It was right before the one in Vegas, but I think it was in Salakia?
Victorville.
Oh, it was in California?
Yeah, it was in Victorville.
Oh, I could have sworn there was one in the South. Well, I know there was a string of hangings throughout America, but there was one in particular that was, that made national news. So I might be incorrect about, because I thought it was either Georgia or South Carolina, but I wasn't tracking on California. I'm not going to front. So Salakia, I stand corrected on that. But
no. It probably was one out there too, but I know there's for sure one in Victorville.
Okay. All right. Well, now, why am I bringing this out? Because these brothers throughout, the modern day hangings, the hangings from 400 years ago, and even the hangings from the time of the Romans, you understand, was done in a way of disrespecting the dead. And our people that are in the world are following that same exact notion because what is being put in that music. You understand? Go ahead and read that for me when you got it, Baba Kashad, True.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, and verse number 22.
Yeah, Khan.
And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree.
So, in other words, really quick. So, in other words, this is letting you know biblically, it is okay when a man is worthy of death, it is okay for him to have the death penalty and to hang him. But just like everything else that we do as Israelites, according to the Bible, there are rules to it. You understand? Read on.
Verse 23, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree.
Hold on, wait. Trooper, I need you to tell me what you just read right there, though. His body shall not remain all night upon the tree. What did that just say?
Basically saying once you hang him, don't let his body hang all throughout the night.
No. Back up a little bit. It's not all through the night. There's a certain time that body has to come down. What time is that? Because think about our culture as well. Think about our ways. You understand? There's a certain time that body has to come down. What time is that body has to come down from that tree? That that body was just, that man or woman was just put to death for whatever crime, for whatever sin that they had committed, whatever transgression they had committed. What time is that?
That's when the sun goes down.
When the sun goes down. How do you know that? It says his body shall not remain all night upon the tree. So in other words, you should not see a hanging body from a tree, go to sleep, and wake up in the morning when the sun comes up, and that same body should be there. You understand? In other words, you should die and be buried the same day. You understand? That's still a form of respect to bury somebody's body. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
But thou shalt in any wise bury him that day.
Salaki, I got a little bit of ahead of myself with that. But like I said, you should die and be buried that same day. So that lets you know before sundown, because that's the end of the day. Before sun sets, that brother or whomever was put on that tree to be hung needs to be, hung on the tree. They can hang there all goddamn day if need be. If they need to be an example, whatever, okay, hey, so be it. But once the sun is set, he or she needs to be put in that ground. He or she needs to be put, 6 feet under. You understand? That's out of respect. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
So read that again.
For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
You understand? So he that is hanged is accursed of God. This is talking about somebody that is still hung on, because you see how it's in parentheses right there, right? And then it was also that semicolon after it says, but thou shalt not in any wise bury him that same day. But thou shalt in any wise bury him that day, semicolon. So this is a connecting thought. It is put into parentheses. For he that is hanged is accursed of God. In other words, somebody that is still hung after the sunset, man, that is somebody that's cursed by God. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these hangings that we've been seeing from the time of the Romans with the Roman cross, you understand? Because that was their way of saying it. That was their way of saying that about our king. That your God even cursed you. You understand? Your God did this to you. Then you fast forward to the Atlantic slave trade. Man, was there ever really a time that they took us down the same day? They damn near didn't even want to touch us. They had one of us going, pull us off the doggone tree. And even then, it probably wasn't for a good time, because they wanted that brother or sister to continue to hang so that it would be a warning to everybody else.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then, of course, fast forward to today, where it's modern times. We were finding these brothers who was dead since the night before, but we found them today behind a Walmart. I believe 2 or 3 of them was literally behind a Walmart. And I remember that in particular because people was talking about how, like, yo, that's weird. It's like behind a Walmart, just in different parts of the country. You know what I'm saying? But it's basically a middle finger to y'all. It's a middle finger to us for them to do this to us. You understand? It's a way of disrespecting you past the grave. You understand? And with that, man, and this is how you know it. This is how you know it. Because everybody throughout the goddamn America claims to be a Christian, claims to know the Bible, claims to love Christ, claims to love everything about these doggone scriptures, but yet will still hang a black or brown man or woman up on a tree for days to weeks on end, just to send a message. but it's also their way of saying that you are cursed. You understand? It's a way of disrespecting you past the grave. You understand? Salakia. Yeah, Salakia. Did any of y'all have anything you want to add on that?
Sure, I'm too wild.
True.
I'm too wild.
Salaki. I know I'll be long-winded, man. Salaki.
All right, my brother. That's you got a closing statement, or you good?
You know what? I mean, with that, if you don't understand what I just said, with how quick they are to disrespect us even past our graves, and our brothers and sisters in the world, you understand? It's just like what Yahushua had said in the first doggone place, where he cried out to the Lord and said, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. You understand? Our brothers and sisters in the world, that's who he is talking about and pleading with the Lord to forgive. You understand?
Wow.
So when our brothers and sisters are in the world having these little stupid rap battles or rap battle beefs, and then it ends up into violence and whatnot, and but in the midst of it, they're disrespecting it, disrespecting the dead back and forth. Just remember where that was taught.
Right.
Just remember who our people in the world learn that from. You understand? And when you start to realize and think about that a lot of the things that we do in the world, we do this because we have been taught this from somebody else. All right. So in other words, we're not the violent, barbaric ones, as the brother Nakazaki has been saying all goddamn night. That to say how we are described as being barbaric. You understand? Just think about the fact that this land was taken in the first place by deceit, disease, and forcefully. So what is the use of force? I mean, a barbaric way. It was this country, North America or South America, was not conquered by the oppressors, over diplomatic means. You understand what I'm saying? So always keep that at the forefront of your thought when you think about your oppressors. You understand? For those of y'all that are in the world, when you think about these people that you actually look up to, that you want to be just like, just because they got a fancy suit and a briefcase and whatever vehicle, you understand? Because they got money, because somebody has money. Just remember their true mannerisms. Because you know what? We all know that the oppressor is extremely passive. Passive up until you start shopping in their stores, you start living in their neighborhoods, and hell, you around their children. Even though that you don't even interact with either, with them in either setting, now all of a sudden they're violent. But you, black man, you Latino man, you Native American man, and women, of course, we do not become violent unless circumstances force us to be, so that we can survive, because we learn from somebody that, through these means, I can survive. And that's all I got on it. Salakia.
Definitely. All right, y'all. We're about to close this up. Let's give acknowledgement to the chat. Amana Bath, Shalom sis. Hey, Trooper, I Warrior. Shalom, my brother. Mata Maya. Lucky. I'm lucky if I butchered your name. Officer 5000. Matabar, Lucky. Hey, Shalom Christ, I don't want. Trooper Lock. You know what I'm saying? And Officer Kodash. All right. Daughter of a King. All right, we all good. All right, let's get that a clap up. Officer Rock, the water, my brother.
Nah, hey, the water for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to teach class with you, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We're gonna have to keep this up, my brother.
No, facts, exactly.
It's at a point where it's getting hard to teach alone now. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
Trooper, not to buy them. Did I butcher it?
Natabalan.
Natabalan. All right. You know what I'm saying? Water for y'all brothers, man. Water for y'all tuning in. Tuesday night brotherhood class. Shalom.
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 Trying to run from all my thoughts, scared to face my lies. I keep losing all my brothers, this shit suicide. Trying to